He is Jiao. She can draw a dragon. He wasn't finished yet. Order it to be brought up on Monday. Said you were Joe. You are proud. Can't even melt a dragon. Is still here to blow with me. Then he sneered that you'd leave it downstairs with the chef. Thought the blackfish radiation had mutated. You think it was a human who made you fail to turn into a dragon? No, it's your life. Loser is you. Bean curd watching this scene, without thinking, can turn Jackie Chan's Coke makes the weak look up. That should make Xiao's body even stronger. At the same time, the Invitation Bureau texted back, learned that Mohan Millennium practice time has not arrived, but he was desperate to get over it. The state sneered. Sure enough, IVE lived thousands of years, never heard of an alligator, so loved by the way of heaven, it takes 1,000 years to turn into a dragon. Are you a son of God or a lover? Mohan can no longer stand the week of poisonous snake attack. She ran away crying. Fu Rain cannot bear Mohan young mind hurt. Ju was bullied by Joe. Ling Zhou taught him he was bigger than you. Now it's just that the power is broken. Don't be silly. Be kind to others. I don't know what day it'll be eaten. Have you ever seen a fox that can swim? Make the old dog but fake not serious about Fuyu to dive. See Fuyu embarrassed appearance. He smiled and said, don't be afraid. I can help you get through it. Did not wait for Fuyu reaction over what is called cross gas. He was made to hug the weak to a mage big deep kiss. Kiss and say it'll take you to the bottom of the ocean. See a world you've never seen before. Fu Rain busy push away the weak shouted you violate the rules. Make weaks but serious answer. This is before the sea. Training but don't want to the next second. Fuyu changed back to the fox. Why are you a fox again? Cunning little fellow. Fuyu explained to me that this is called stress reaction. Not cunning, the other side, he wouldn't let go of it. Looking at the failed and depressed Mohan, Yuan he cheer him up. Don't give up on yourself. There must be another chance. It's like the Sats, most of them can get in a few times, but don't want to. Mohan will return to the human form to scold your brain sick. You were struck by lightning 1,000,000 times on your Sats. Go on and say IVE had a bad life. I met you like a club, but it didn't last long. For fighting the Checkens too hard. Was Yangtze kicked back to see Lingxia? Unexpectedly Mohan suddenly in front of a light. He broke away and ran to the clouds, and said the little fox is so cute, I need a hug. Lin Zhou quickly stopped. Say he's something you can touch if you want. Mohan, who was stopped by Lin Zhou, shouted angrily at the old monster, what's the big deal? And then proudly said that if I succeeded in transforming and extending, handsome and stylish, the most handsome boy in the river, when he sees that, he's still going to be obsessed with me. The words did not stop, but Lin Zhou picked him up and carried him out of the window. Scared Mohan cried and screamed. Fuyu will come back towards the weak shouted good, don't scare the kids. Then from the hands of the weak will Mohan seize the past, hug in his arms comfort way not to cry, stop crying, and Mohan lie in the bosom of Fu Rain cannot extricate themselves. Enjoy it, little bastard, eat my whiff's tofu, make Monday's face dark. Mohan, who will be bleeding from the nose, grabs it again, looking at a few people make a fuss, come back deliberately to see the old dog to plot again. The next second, Mohan grabbed his hand, in front of Fu Wu, yeah, making Joe yell that he didn't want to, committing a crime, make Joe but serious said, my wife and I don't have anything to do with you, but unexpectedly Mohan asked back to your official declaration, did you sleep together, is sister you willing? But the words were not finished by the weak kicked out of the house, then tell Fu Wu that we are officially declared, looking at Fu Yu a surprised expression, to put it bluntly, Lin explained, are you in heat yet? I am not in heat yet. Chu went on to say that in fact, I have never thought of getting married, Baizi said that I need to study and cultivate more, only to be asked by the state, do you hate me? The look that darkened the state, neither is Chu busy, explaining, my mind is filled with the picture of Lingxia just taking a bath. How could this body be annoying? Make weeks but see Fuyu have a good impression on himself. The next second with the hand to lift the Fuyu chin to look at themselves, caught off guard and gave Fuyu a French kiss loudly. I can wait for you, Ling Zhou said, but if it takes too long, that's inhumane. What kind of word is that? Fuyu was made weak said double face red. The next second use, the whole body strength will push the weak out. Who expected weak took out a mobile phone, change your profile picture to a fox, proud toward Fuyu said, normal husband side. You have to bring pictures of your wives, trying to take advantage of me again. Mr. Fuaye will be out on Monday, but unexpectedly Mo Han has been standing at the door, sighed to Ling Zhou said 6 minutes then throw to make Zhou a look of contempt, singing a little song hum left. The little fox stroked, shocked to see the netizens' photos, this sexy pose, that's a look, can't help but wonder, how these fans can drive so well, next thing I know, I am not so cloying, and then something sudden flashes through your head, dimly, seems to hear Ling Zhou said a little fox to himself, is my chest comfortable, Ye Fuayu quickly patted his face, tell yourself not to think, unexpectedly assistant Yilan but a bad smile to ask Fuayu, are you ready for today's play? I saw Fuayu hands a step the script fox is a piece of cake, and I was so nervous, it's a sex scene today. Reporters outside the theater had been waiting, first sex scene in 10 years, look how excited everyone is. Golden Island then said to the field affairs, have the staff clear the area, then turn around and ask about such an important play. I stopped doing my homework before, we've done this many times, even in my dreams, I practiced many times, but Gold Island but a face disdained to look at the floating clouds, say hey to Lingjia, look at your wife, she's a nervous wreck, I knew you guys weren't there yet, the one who ends up mocking the useless guy, your thing is thousands of years old, you can get rid of it if you don't use it, I need the bureau to assign you an object, I know the chief pretty well, after all, Lingjia then said to Golden Island, give you the whole Comorian monitor lizard physique of the object, it is also okay, I was scolded by the state, Gold Island looking at the state back shouting to see your ability, NG is gonna call me daddy, and the other side, blessing language but self-care of the broken reed goodbye nervous, think of your brother as a 5'8" piece of wood, only to be just walked into the week to hear, any complaints about Golden Island, it gonna play wood, hell jump up and curse. Who I was frightened, I immediately pictured Kindo getting angry, where's the passion? Where's the breath? Move it like a dead fish, in the next second. But to make Joe smile said is not the bed play, then pretend to be calm and say I am a fox, have you forgotten? Ling Zhou, who lived for 10,000 years, was the first, second sex scene, the next second, he looked to the staff beside him, make Joe actually use teeth, bite the knot on the Fuyu Cheongsum, didn't wait for Fuayu to react, show off, the buckles on the clothes were chewed open by the old dog, Fuayu's heart beat into his throat, I guess that, crunch time, Golden Island finally shouted, shut down 2 people, at the same time, make an old dog's nose bleed, Joe covered his nose in embarrassment, 10,000 old demons acting, I got a nosebleed, Fu Rain wondered if he was wrong, Golden Island is also carefully looking at Jojo, are you finally in heat? When I hear those words, little gossip Fu Rain instantly brought up the spirit. Wan asked Lin Zhou, are you in heat? Lin Zhou bowed his head and replied no, but when we're in heat, there's a response, see Lin Zhou slightly depressed. Fu language but a face kind comfort nothing, monsters are in heat, just early and late, you accept it when it comes, to one's surprise. Lin Zhou suddenly grabbed Fuyu's hand and asked then, when is your heat season, fox? Fu language answered brother said grew up naturally no, is brother the Tsingyi, in the state's mind at the moment, I immediately saw the appearance of green clothes sharpening knives, I imagined the hideous blue coats saying to myself, who the fuck tells my sister she's in heat, I told him to end it, at the thought of it, make the state cold sweat. In the evening Fuyu sneaks out to buy fried chicken, I was bumped into by a strange man, other people's gifts were spilled all over the floor, unexpectedly. The man apologized first because I didn't see the road, sorry for the next second, but the falling marble caught the attention of Fuyu. What are these beads? He asked politely. Late gift. The man answered absent birthday, of course you have to make it up all at once. Fu language envy said your girlfriend is really happy. The man picked up a bead and said no, this is my most special existence, at the same time. Fuyu feels something is wrong with the whole person, my head is spinning, after a long trance. Wake up suddenly, only to realize that the man had disappeared. This is so weird. Fuyu began to be afraid. The next second suddenly a hand on the shoulder of Fuyu. Ling Zhou asked what was wrong. So panicked, scared the shit out of me. I just met someone, and then my head went blank. Fuyu said sighed to make weak body dawdling, make weeks curious looking at Fuyu. The little fox in front of me seemed to be a different person. I am hot. I am going back to the hotel. Fuyu is not finished. The next thing you know, he's in your arms. Then he said to Ling Zhou that you smell good, then raised his head lovingly, looked at Ling Zhou, lick your upper lip and say you want me, and then he went on to say how good you looked. Can you believe it? Fu Rain unexpectedly make boat force to the wall. He said he was gonna make him die. This is gonna take the whole week. Took a deep breath. Calm your restless mind. Look at the eyes of the change in temperament. At this moment unusual charming Fuyu, Zhou asked in disbelief. Do you really know what you're talking about? But Fuyu pull make Zhou collar, to the point where a grown man grinds and grinds. Ling Zhou asked Fuyu to wait 10 minutes. Fuyu answered with a smile, don't let me wait too long. Change the man for the next second. The door slammed shut. Little Fuyu dumbstruck. Shouldn't we be taking a shower? By now Lingzhe had sensed something was wrong. The little fox is less than 1,000 years old. Sudden estrus. It's like being able to wake up. Who was teasing him? Fox instinct. What is the purpose? Suddenly Zhou noticed that the house was shaking. Something got into little fox room. On the other side Fuyu was tightly bound in chains. A strange man approached Fuyu. To keep you on the run for so long. It's time to go home. There was a bang. The door was jolted open. The man was also taken aback, surprised to look at the door. Good big dragon, only let the state show itself, and shouted to get away, but men disdain tens of thousands of years. I made it. The first, make June angry, shout at, that's a lot of stuff, something you can't even show your face. The man smiled, said I'd see you later, not, the next thing I know, it's gone. The chains also fall as the man disappears. Make Zhou hurriedly forward alarm, floating cloud signal, asked the Chechen who arrived, imperial capital, since when is there a monster with such a powerful aura? Look on with surprise, but he helped his glasses, said the demon was after the little fox. Ling Zhou nodded, that Fu Wu is being controlled by someone else. It's a little hard on my body, let's go out and talk. Wake up, to find myself in someone else's bed. This moment completely confused the little FO fish, but still pretend to be calm and look at the man in front of me. What did I do last night? Make Zhou but very calm answer is nothing, just kept hugging and kissing me, licking and licking, and he undressed me. It's so embarrassing. Fuyu really want to find a hole to get into, hurriedly picked up the mobile phone pretending to call and ran away, but in the afternoon cast, another strange thing happened. Fuyu received a delivery without the sender's name. One side Yulan remind Fuyu beware. Could be a package from Black Powder. Who would have thought the next second, out of the box fell the same beads as last night. Fuyu also immediately became dull. I heard a deep man's voice in my ear. You are mine. The next second Fuyu body is out of control to stand up. Then he walked step by step toward the door. I keep hearing a voice in my head. Come to me. See, Fuyu is about to walk out the door. Just in time, the state noticed something was wrong, shut the door with a snap. Wake up to make the state to Fuyu yell. The next moment Chechnya and Yuran were shocked. Make the weak unexpectedly directly hugged Fuyu. Kiss up. Say little fox to Fuyu. Don't get lost. Fuyu felt as if he had suddenly fallen into the sea. Wake up, open your eyes, and look at Lingzhe. Get out of the Kaling state. And then pointing at Lingzhe, and yelling at you for what? Make the state but evil charm smile. Did you lick your lips with your tongue, and say you're awake? You bit my lip. That's no consideration for a single dog on the side. The face suddenly changed. The state's face. Serious to Fuyu said that something is spying on you. Then look at the marbles on the ground. Said there was a problem with your delivery. I don't want to take out the phone. Get someone to find out who delivered the package. There came a girl, predecessor. That courier you're talking about, I know who that guy is. It's the most powerful drug in the demon realm. As soon as the goblin gets close, hell be in heat right away, and lose your mind. The body can be controlled by someone who can't control it. The man wants to use this opportunity to hype up the affair with Bingt. Make yourself famous and searchable. I thought everything was ready, only to regret it the next moment. It's not for you standing at the door. It was the gloomy Ling Zhou. This scares the hell out of men. Make weak pick up beads, questioned man. Who's behind it? Who's behind it? The man said he didn't know. The next moment, there was a terrible howl from the room. The man was beaten to the ground by Ling Zhou. See, the weak said to the man, I didn't even say anything about beating you like this. I guess I really don't know. Don't ever appear in front of Fu Wu again, or I will. Looking at the weak gradually away, Men and women finally breathed a sigh of relief. The next second was surprised by the sudden appearance of Mohan. I saw Mohan squatting beside the man, say angrily, "The smell of you, just like the guys I got for me," before a man can react. And then I got my ass kicked by Mohan. Day and week and leaf floating fish in the cast. The romantic scene of the two, kissing in the snow. People on the side are praised too beautiful. Side to two people really good harmony. Suddenly, there was a thunder in the sky. Joe looked up at the sky. Something is wrong. He took out his mobile phone and looked around, said the water level was rising abnormally. I am going to take a look in. Small gossip runes also hold the hand of Ling Joe, yelled that I wanted to go, too. Make Joe questioned that but go to the water, yeah fox, it's dangerous to go down there, for you but a face of innocent answer, but I don't feel safe here alone. Make Joe helpless smile said you are sure oh, don't ask me to be angry with you, runes are afraid, really scared, don't wait to take a deep breath, next thing you know, he's plopped under the water, scared for you shouted for help, unexpectedly make weaks but mouth to for you jealous, for you looked at the weak side. It turns out you can breathe like this, but inadvertently noticed that Joe has no heart. There were faintly glowing scales, thought that the weak body will not be fish and shrimp, is it a crab? Looking at Fuayo's strange eyes, Ling Joe said, what are you thinking again? Suddenly, Ling Joe smiled and said, do you want to see what I look like? Fuyu opened his eyes wide with curiosity, all expectations, as the water slowly spirals in. Fuayo was stunned by the scene. Ling Zhao's body turned out to be a huge dragon. Good bigger Fuyu cannot help but sighed. The next thing I know, I am being led by something I can't describe. I was so scared I was screaming. The stare made Joe exclaim that this is too big. Make Monday face helpless. Where are we looking? It's not what I want to see. It's too big. Fuayo then said I don't think we can. Not make the state will come back to Fu Rain slowly walk. Staring at Fuayo said, what can't? What's wrong with Fuayo turning his head, but in his heart he secretly reproaches and acts the old goblin who knows what he's asking. On the other side of the hotel rented by the day and night crew, open the door and scold someone. It's so late, but unexpectedly Mohan holding the shellfish. He came running in and said it was thundering. There is a thunder. Mohan rolled up the quilt and hid in, shivering in bed and telling me it's called a psychological shadow. You don't want to think about who did it. That you did this to me, Evil Charm asked shouldn't be responsible. This little thing is not going too far. 1 minute she was curled up under the covers, shudder at the thunder. Next thing you know, he's on the bed. It means a lot that you made me fail. Shouldn't you be responsible? Scared the hell out of the car. Just give Mohan a flying kick. Get mad and yell at a bad guy like you. There is no qualification for a dragon. I love cooking and cooking. On the other side of the other weak mother carrying big bags to visit the class. Watching my daughter-in-law lose weight again. Looking at the golden island on the side said someone bullied you. Just tell mom. Make up your mind. Fuyu embarrassed smile said no. Role needs. There are many Cheongsam styles. Dress well. The old mother who never visited suddenly showed up. Joe was curious and asked him what was the matter. So Zhao's mother completely ignored her own son. Smiling at Fuyu, said I was visiting Fui's class. I brought a lot of little Fui's favorite food. The next thing you know, something's wrong. Single slippers. Even the toiletries belong to one person. Aren't surprised to turn her head to ask Joe Column. Make Joe Light said next door. This can make Zhao's mother angry to shout. You don't sleep in the same room. Mom, we're out filming. Can't be photographed. Don't enter if you know it. Make Joe mom loudly scold the boy who cheated the ghost. Don't you have a way of not getting photographed? So Inky, when will my little grandson have to wait? What do foxes and dragons give birth to? I heard my aunt talk about having grandchildren. The three men were lost in thought. It's a big deal to make an old dog joke. Look at the nervous Fuayo. Next, lie down at Fui's ear. He whispered if he wanted to have one. All goblins are assigned objects when they turn 18, but little foxy Fuayo doesn't want to get married. First, a bowl of fish head soup. Scared away the first husband Koi, then a little trick to drive away the second husband Kumpung. I thought I was with my third husband. It was just for fun, but I don't want the old devil to make the state fake. Seduced Fuayo with beauty, said he wanted to eat my spiced beef. See Fuyu greedy to drool. Ling Joe, but Hans Akimbo says first praise me. Fu Rain helpless thought this old monster really narcissistic. The desire for survival is very strong. Xiaofu said, you are a star in the sky, the moon under the sea is the moon under the sea. I am looking at someone I love, the face of the state is red. The next second he snapped his fingers. Fu language, how did you generate a boundary? Bend over, near Fuayu, replied that way no one would know. I am kissing my god, sweetheart, say to Fuyu is a deep French kiss. Coco is at this time. There was a noise outside the door. The two were curious to smell the prestige. A limited edition limousine pulled up out front, stepped out of the car. It is Fuyu childhood sweetheart brother Kigi. Fuyu also surprised to stare big eyes, wondering why your brother is here. Make Joe also involuntarily double eyebrows locked, think to Kigi or found, nearby Checkens, feel a strong sense of murder. Weak ask the weak. You and Fuwu's roommate didn't call him, who expected to make weeks, but nothing generally said forget to say. Yakigi took off his glasses, looked solemn standing in front of Ling Zhou, take out the wedding photos of Zhou and Fuayu, asked what was going on. Make Zhou but a face relaxed answer, it's what you see, I married little fox, teasing you more affectionate, pull up Fuayu's hand, without waiting for Fu Wu to react. He pulled him toward the door, then said to the assistant next to him, help Ye Fuayu to ask for leave from the cast. The crowd watched the two men leave. Talk about, exclamation to the founder of the Glitz Entertainment, and A-list actress, I am going to do this CP for 1 second. Watching the two go away, Chechnya said to Lingsha, looks like my brother-in-law doesn't like you, maybe he too old. The next thing you know, you said the wrong thing. It's not too old to change course right now, is too mature, looking at the week to pick up clothes, and go. Chechnya asked what was going on. Make Week's answer to wife was taken away. To pick it up, of course, the beloved girl has been assigned a date by the Goblin administration. This can make my childhood sweetheart brother angry, but I tried to hold back my anger, laughing and saying, so where are you at? The blessing was asked until his face was red, shaking his head and saying we were married by agreement. Nothing happened. Yakigi was relieved. Sigh, next thing I know, I am green, because the feather then told him. Ling Zhou kissed him several times, and touching him all the time. Suddenly Wuai wide-eyed asked Kigi brother, is that because you like it? That's an old school courtesy. That's what old monsters do. Kigi explained to Fuayu, then grasped the arms of Fuayu said as for the state, you know, just a warm old monster. Can Fuayu but a face lovely asked the brother, you never kiss me. Kigi touched Fuayu head said that is not the same, he's been ashamed for years. Stare at Fuayu and say that I will help you solve this marriage, and then meaningfully before that, don't meet with him, a young fox. How could he be a match for that old monster? See brother so mind. Fu thought about himself and, let's not talk about the state contract. The next second to pull the elder brother spoiled way, but I have a movie to shoot, now that it's almost over, ask King Do to put your scenes together. He'll have someone drive you there. Fu sent his brother away. My heart suddenly mixed feelings, because the thought of being apart from Raju, I am actually a little sad. A man suddenly appeared in front of the bed. This can shock Fuayu. Was it a dream? Fuayu reached out to touch the man's body. The next thing you know, a screaming, this is the real killer. Chao rolled over. A hold Fuayu said you really touch it. Then staring at Fu Wu, say you naughty little fox. Back to God. Fuyu immediately jumped out of bed. How did Lingsha get in? Unexpectedly make Joe but a wolf Fuayu hand help up. Give a kiss. Speaking of course is feeling your inner calling. Shame on you. Fuayu a shake off the hands of the weak shouted don't bullshit, then let's get serious. Go out and play. Ling Zhou continued. You pulled me off the show anyway. Might as well take the opportunity to go to an amusement park. You can go out and play, when you hear it. Small Fuayu excited wide eyes asked but, what about brother? See Fuyu hesitated. Ling Zhou immediately said since I can come, of course I can get you out of here. Colorful playground. Make weeks with Fuyu sat on the merry-go-round. Fuyu looked at the week to his home rabbit, grinning from ear to ear. This is gonna be a night to remember. Happy little fox. I haven't been this happy in a long time, Fuayu answered. And the next thing you know, it's not. Yell at Lingsha behind you. Make the state look around. Yeah, Kigi said good luck on fire. Big uncle brother Kigi to Fuyu shouted light rain. Get back to me. The first encounter was scolded by his brother, scared back to his original form, and ran away in disgrace. Lingsha asked why you scared him. I am the one who took him out. Xingyu asked if I remembered correctly. We both fucked up. He was just born in those years. He should be calling you brother, too, Lingjia answered with a smile. It means he and I have a deep connection, elder brother. Xingyu can no longer stand the name of Ligju, pointing at Lingjia, and yelling, who's your big brother, you shameless bastard, I want you to take the blood in my heart makes a contract, don't touch him. Well, unexpectedly, the state agreed to it without thinking, but if the little fox tries to bully me, that's not my fault, say that I don't go back, then I will go back first. Good night, brother. The other woman holds the poison given by the Demon King. Self-talk to Ye Fuyu, you wait till I put this on you. How do you show up in show business? Fuyu panicked, really panicked. Someone poisoned the party. Rapid heartbeat. The body is also rapidly catalyzed. Fuyu know this is to change back to the original sign. The next moment everyone was shocked. Fuyu jumped into the sea from the boat. But I can't breathe in the water. Pass out. Open your eyes again. I find myself inside a giant clamshell. Where am I? Fuyu curious, sit up and ask yourself. I am the first man in history. A drowned fox. Suddenly a man came up behind him, caught Furious' attention, under the handsome face of a man. The whole body is still shining white. Fuyu but feel breath how a little familiar. Then the man explained that this is my Miss Ye, accidentally fell into the water. I saved you. You were unconscious for a day and a night. Must be hungry. What would you like to eat? Fish head soup. Seaman surprised eyes. Fu Rain happy said it was you. Long time no see. Miss Ye is still so funny and lovely. Then introduce yourself formally. My name is Ran Li. All the fish you just dropped are mine. By convention, whatever falls on my property is mine. The man crouched down. He kissed his hand. Say so you are mine too. Don't make Fuyu a push soft inside. How do I get back? Unexpectedly, the man said with a bad smile. That's after we've established a deep bond, and swore that no one could break my boundaries, so we have a good time together. But the next second, in the distance there was the sound of the breaking of the boundary. I saw two pumping rods thrust into the water. Command Chow is here. See agreement husband to save his Fuyu. Shout with joy. Nguyen Li but will Fuyu hold down. Yell at Ling Zhou. Who are you? I am your father. Make the state gesture. The Dharma breaks the boundary completely. Roan Li was frightened back to his original form. Are you all right with Lin? Lin Zhou then said to look for this little dump. Take some time. Everyone's worried about you. Then turned aside. Roan Li, what are you? Looking at the glaring rush. Roan Ji thought about this guy. It must be something scary. See two people head to head. Fuyu hurriedly go up to mediate is. I am afraid to jump into the water with my original voice. He saved me. Tears filled Nguyen Li's eyes. Looking at Fuyu said, wife. You know better. What did you say? Who's your wife? We're about to do it again. Fuyu busy Paul Lingjia said abuse of magic words. It'll bring in the Goblin Bureau. The loss outweighs the gain. Let the boat gradually calm down. Say let's go. Watching the two gradually go away. Soft inside shouting clearly. I am the one who met him in the first place. You third term. Fuyu secretly sighed. How come this guy still doesn't have a brain? Suddenly a man appeared in front of him. Stopped Miss Fukuya. Oh, good. Okay. Then he glared at her. Number 99,854 is a violation of the Goblin Control Law. Unlawful restraint. A fine of 91,000 and 3 months hard labor. The side of the state but disdain to say brush what sense of existence, your Goblin authority. When did it get so inefficient? Point to Nguyen Li and say your speed. The carp is about to bond with the fox. A pickup Fuyu said there. I am warning you both. Too. Both are his predecessors. You should just be a good no. Want to badger again? Then deliberately raise your voice. Emphasize that I am the incumbent of Little Fox. Say gentle bow to Fuyu said home. Little Fox the next day. Fuyu looked at the haggard Lin Zhou. Said you were up all night. Go get some rest. Lin Zhou, however, held Fuyu's hand and said nothing. It's the same sleeping here. It's such a shameless act. Let the side of Chechnya and Gold Island cannot help but ridicule. The color dragon led the old gong. Qingdao then said Fuai was Hang Ning Jun stick charm. That's why it's current. The charm has the scent of a demon, making Zhou sit up suddenly. Said Hang Ningjun was working for the demon. At the sound of the monster, Fuyu suddenly startled. I remember being controlled by that goblin a while ago. I can't help but shake with fear. Don't want to make Zhou touched Fuyu's head. Comfort, no matter what kind of eyes each other holds. As long as I am around, no one can touch you. Golden Island helped his glasses. Said whoever was behind Hangnigjen, it's a foregone conclusion that he killed Fuku. Chechnya also echoed that the team must not let him off lightly. The next moment, I was lost in thought, but the little Kunpeng has set his sights on us. If you violate the Goblin Code, not waiting for the car to finish the letter, then it must be used without violating Goblin rules, and something memorable, a sudden, excited cry of Rune, we can borrow a pill from Yi and he. The next day, the Hanging Army's commercial performance was crowded. Suddenly a thunderous cry cut through the crowd. Mom! Everyone was stunned by what they saw. I saw a little boy crying and running to the Hanging Army. Press conference. The actress was suddenly hugged by a child and called mother. The reporter was stunned. The child cried and took out the photo. Grievance tears. Why don't you want me and daddy? The crowd room was boiling. How cruel to accuse him, abandon one's husband and children, and he beats to death. Would not think of. All this was carefully designed by Fuayu. Hard for revenge. Amazing. Fuayu came over with the cake. Mohan ate the cake, crowing. Xiao Fuayu, you did not see the last face of Hangnigjen. Pale, pale, seeing your wife complimenting someone, the side of the weak cannot keep down. Jealous to Fuyu said, if you like children, well, have one of our own later. Personality like you like me, better than this stupid girl, who was tricked into going back.